over at Bethalto. First screen here, don't you wish that there was some kind of infinite power source out there that you could use all day, every day, potentially for the rest of your life? Well, that's where I come in. That's what we do. We show you how we can harness the rays of the sun and hopefully, in most cases, eliminate a good portion of your overall electric bill and do it for the rest of your life or however long you live in that home. I'm going to give you a little introduction here. My next one here is going to be, this is my wife, Nikki. Nikki, that's from our wedding day. God, my hair was really bad that day. I had earrings in. The next picture, I believe, is on our honeymoon. That's one of my favorite pictures of us. We had a really good time. You need to have you send us back there. That was Cozumel, I believe. So I'm going to go through these pretty quick. Okay, there's a whole lot of pictures until I get to the main part. These are my parents. It's John and Claudia. Without them, no work ethic. They were very diligent about trying to live better, and that's where I got it from. Click right along. So this is our home. This is over in Bethalto. We're very proud of it. I get to be the caretaker of it because it's really just a gift that was given to us. But that we live right in Bethalto in here in the near future. We hope to have all of you over there for our shindig once our pond gets completed, who's my guest today, our excavator.
No pressure.
All right, and there's probably one of the best moments of my life. That's my granddaughter, Maren Margot. So. All right, so I'm a big meme guy. I love Facebook memes. I think some of them are motivational. I have some that are I'm not going to show you today, maybe tomorrow night. Memes tomorrow night. But I like the motivational ones because it's important to keep your mind right, and, just keep plowing forward. It's not always easy. You're all a business owners. You know it's not easy, so you've got to be putting good in to get good out. I love this one. The life you want is right on the other side of the shit you don't want to do. Sound about right?
Yeah. Somebody cleaned it up for you.
Yeah, I did. I got to keep my Facebook page family friendly. Another one. The risk you're afraid to take could be the one that changes your entire life. That's the story with us. When we came up here 7 years ago, solar was brand new. You know what I mean? And we did this thing on a whim. I came up here on an exploratory trip, and boom, here we are. We've got a very thriving company. Don't be afraid to take the risks. Here's another good one. Don't be upset by the result you didn't get with the work that you didn't do. Okay? We try to think, it comes easy or people are going to hand you stuff. It doesn't. It doesn't. If you're not out there grinding, it's not going to happen. Success like an iceberg. Our thing here is called Extreme Business Builders. All right. Along the way, you find you got a lot of people. They think, they're all doing this and doing that. And, they're better. And you know what? Nobody sees the bottom of the iceberg. They don't see the sleepless nights. They don't see, all the things that it takes to get that little bit that's above the waterline. Love that one. Buzz Lightyear, man. Solar panels everywhere. Another one of my favorite ones. This kid. Minus the mullet, that's me. Oh, this was for my wife. Love you, baby. Next. Oh. I don't know, you all been up Route 66, the little antique shop up there? That's the big statue. In case you've never looked, that's what's up there. All right, I'm going to show you a couple of our installs. This is one of my favorite ones. This is right here in Edwardsville. Unfortunately, the gentleman has passed away, but he did this because he wanted his wife to not have to worry about the electric bill when he went. And it's a beautiful, that's probably one of my favorite installs of all time. Another house, this is in Staunton. This is the Mayfield family, Mayfield Mullins Landscaping. That's their install. It's one of my oldest. I don't even remember where this house is, but it's a pretty house. Another, great one. That looks like something John Mites would have done there. Was it a wall? It's a wall. You still need to figure out a way to do the solar panels. All right, this is my home, okay? And I'm gonna be using my home. I'm gonna use the rest of my time to tell you guys exactly what it is I do for people, and how this plays out financially. Now this, I'm gonna preface this by telling you that this is an extraordinarily large system. I have 3 furnaces, 3 ACs, it's an all-electric home, okay? So my electric bills, when we bought the place, I knew they were gonna be off the charts. I said I would never buy an all-electric house. Turned out to be the one I wanted, and there you go. So you'll find out exactly what it is here in just a second. Oh, here's another install. This is one of my agricultural ones. This is down in Clinton County. That's 75 kilowatts, powers a bar, grain bins, all kinds of crazy stuff. Okay, so when I go into a customer's home, the first thing I do is I look at the aerial. I need to know what I'm dealing with, okay? Sometimes they go on the roof of the house, sometimes there's another picture, the other one of the property. There's where we started. I take a look at the whole property because I don't know where somebody's gonna want this. My job is to find the best location for it. So if you look at this picture, the house is like right to the right of the pool. Got 3 really nice trees in the front of the house, and I needed more solar than my roof was gonna hold. So that wasn't it. So if you look back to the previous one, that's how we landed on the pole barn, okay? The pole barn is this direct southern orientation. I didn't really want all of it on the ground because when you do put a ground in, Dave probably can attest to this, it takes up a little bit of real estate. So I was lucky enough that the pole barn faced south, and I had to stick a ground mount right next to it. So I kind of maximized the space that I had to achieve the goal. Now, is there one more? No. Okay, so what I do is I take a look at a customer's electric bill. All right, we take a look at the annual consumption on the electric bill, and that's what I'm trying to eliminate. I'm lucky enough to be an Ameren customer, and so I'm able to get the bill down to the customer charge and meter charge that is $11 a month. This is the only electric bill I'm ever going to pay for the rest of my life. Okay. Now, what it took to accomplish this, first of all, I took a guess. When I got to this house, there were 2 meters. I had no idea what the previous annual consumption was on either of the meters, so I took a shot in the dark. I've been doing this for a while, so I'm pretty good at it. I think I've got enough. I might have to use a little less electricity during the winter in the pool house, but we'll see. Either way, I slated this, and I'm gonna pull this forward a little bit. I realize there's nice people in the back. Vision might not be that good anymore. I slated this house for 35,000 kilowatt hours per year. Remember, this is about double the size of a typical home that I work on, all right? This was going to cost me almost $6,900 per year to power this home, all right? That's an average of almost $600 per month. If I didn't have the solar with the electric heat, my electric bills in the wintertime would probably run about $1,200, all right? Thank God for solar. So, what you saw up there on the screen, the array that's at my house, that is a 27 kilowatt system, which I believe is going to be right at a 100% offset. I haven't had the solar up for a whole year. I got a couple of months to go. But on my electric bill, I'm watching the accumulation of credits. I think I'm gonna be all right as long as I don't run the space heaters in the garage this year. So, now, here comes your sticker shock, okay? This project, 2-story roof on the pole barn, ground mount, there are extra charges. I had 350 feet of trenching, which anybody that knows anything about electricity, that's pretty expensive. The total cost of this system would have been $93,000, all right? For most people that I deal with, this is a simple loan that you take. I've got different lenders that do different things, you know, depending on how people like to pay for things. Some people like to pay them quick. I want a 10-year loan. Other people don't care. They just want the cash flow positive on a month-to-month basis. And because you're going to pay the electric bill for the next 25 years, what difference does it make? If you're paying less, and you've got it locked in, that's the idea. So, on this $93,000, there's 2 incentives. The first one is the 30% federal tax credit. Now, in this case, that's coming out to right about $25,500. This is achieved, and Tim can probably attest to this, this is achieved in several ways. One, if you're a W-2 employee and you pay your taxes every 2 weeks, you get this money back from the IRS in the form of a refund, okay? Say the homeowners are making about $125,000 a year, they're paying approximately $15,000 to $16,000 of that in their taxes. Notwithstanding child tax credits, and disclaimer, I'm not an accountant, I'm not allowed to give tax advice, go to Tim for that. At the end of the day, this comes back in the form of a refund. So in this case, if I was making $125,000 a year, it would actually take me 2 tax seasons to recoup my federal tax money that I've paid into the IRS. So it's your money that they're giving you back. They just won't give you more back in a given year than you paid in. With most of my financing products, there's 2 tax seasons. This time of year, there's 2 tax seasons in the 18-month introductory period. So it's nothing is ever guaranteed, but it's almost a certainty that you will have the $25,000 to do the buy down on the loan that I'm about to tell you about. So that's incentive number 1. Incentive, let's do this. I'll keep going. Incentive number 2 is this beautiful little thing called an SREC, Solar Renewable Energy Credit. It's the Illinois Shine program. It's the reason you see solar popping up on everything. If you think you see solar popping up now, just wait. The next 2 or 3 years, there's going to be massive solar fields all over the place, more and more of it on homes, because anybody who's, particularly with Ameren, who felt the increases in the last year, fasten your seatbelt, they ain't done with it, okay? So, the solar renewable energy credit is based on how much electricity the system is physically going to generate. And in my case, it's about 35,000 kilowatt hours per year. The total number of SRECs, which I didn't write down here on the page and I should have, it comes out to roughly $33,000 is what Ameren is going to pay up. What they're buying is they're buying the next 15 years worth of electricity that my system generates, but they pay me in a full lump sum payment in the first 12 to 18 months of the system's operation. So, if you're a Ameren customer, when you go home tonight, look on page 3 of your bill, taxes and other charges box, there's 2 line items in there, clean energy assistance charge and renewable energy adjustment. They've been charging you this stuff for 12 years, you're already paying for it, in addition to your electric bill. That's where the money comes from, okay? So, in gross, Ameren's gonna pony up almost $33,000 for the next 15 years of my electricity, okay? Here's the thing, the money, there are some deductions, obviously. You have to have what's called a solar credit vendor. In my case, it's gonna be Carbon Solutions, all right? They take 10% of the money, they're on the hook for 15 years as well. They've got a lot of different responsibilities, but they're tracking the system for Ameren's purposes to make sure they're getting what they paid for. So 10% of this comes out, boom, disappears forever. There's another 5% that's withheld, $1,650. This is withheld for in case of the event something catastrophic happened to the system. So like in my scenario, in my place, let's just call it a tornado. Came ripped through, pole barn's gone, you know, whatever. Takes 6 months to get everything back up and operational. That $1,650 is an insurance policy that Ameren can draw from in the event the system is not operating for a length of time. Snow on the panels for a week, that's not what we're talking about. Okay, we're talking about something catastrophic. If that event never happens, I get the whole $1,650 back in 15 years. That probably won't even fill my truck with gas in 15 years. I don't even count it in the bottom line because it's not cool. At the end of the day, and we just got our SREC check on this system, we got almost $28,000 in a lump sum payment from Ameren for putting solar on my house. Okay? A little warm and fuzzies, everybody, you should have gotten like goosebumps or something, because that's what this program does, all right? At the end of the day, I started out at almost $93,000. Whoops, I'll put the 28 on here. The net cost of this system for me in 2 years comes out to $39,600. All right? From 93 to 36, that's almost over 60% of the system, I believe, is getting paid for with incentive money. So real quick, I'll explain to you how to finance. This is just one particular loan program. Right now, I like this because, as anybody knows in banking, if you get the banks involved, man, It's another like the utility, bend over, you're about to take it. This loan product right here, I really, really like. It's, there's no dealer fees on the front end, it's almost like paying cash in the system. What happens is, there's two loans that you take on this particular, the company's called Green Penny. All right? Green Penny offers an 8.5% interest rate, and it's for 20 years. I hate to say 8.5%, you know, it seems awful high. We've been spoiled for a few years. I know people think that interest rates are probably gonna come back down, and we can all hope for it. I don't think it's realistic to think it's coming down in the next 7 or 8 years. That's just gonna be where it is. But the beauty of this is that it's broken up into 2 loans. Okay, the first loan is for the incentive money alone. The incentive money alone came to $53,300 is what I got. So what we do, the customer takes, it's about it's about $41,000 is what they take. On this loan 1, there are no payments accruing, or no payments at all for the first year and a half. So the $50,000 you're taking the loan for, there's no payments on. The interest does accrue for 18 months. The idea is I get my incentive money from the federal government and from the state, and I pay this loan off in 18 months. Okay, never having made a payment on it. Yes, it ends up being about $46,000 is what the payoff is, but I'm still expecting 54. All right, so there's still a little bit of cash coming my way that I can do something else with, or maybe I'll pay down part of loan 2. Loan 2, in this particular scenario, is for the remainder of the other $46,000, okay? On this $46,000, now these solar payments start about 45 days after install, okay? The payment on this is $390 per month, all right? In my case, if you remember on the first sheet, I started out, my electric bill's almost $600. I'm starting out cash flow positive over $200 per month from the day they turn my system on, okay? There's no prepayment penalties on this program, okay? You can pay it off as quickly or slowly as you like, but in my case, I know my electric bills aren't going down, all right? And I'm saving $200 per month, $2,500 per year. Now, drop the system size to a normal home, and an average customer who's, you know, just trying to get by and struggling to pay their bills, this is kind of a no-brainer, all right? There's other ways to do this. There's, I don't know if you've ever talked to anybody about solar. There are leases out there. Don't do a lease, you know, unless you just have no tax liability, or you know you're gonna be in the home for 25 years. But like I say, there's a lot of different ways to slice this. This is just one scenario, but this is what I do, okay? And we work really hard at it. And I personally feel like I'm helping people. I'm not just out there wham bam, thank you ma'am. I know guys out there, they sell 5, 6 systems a week. They're not doing very good by the customer. They're screwing the crap out, okay? You know, if you're thinking about solar, you know anybody that is, let them talk to the competitors first, but don't let them pull the trigger without talking to me. So that's basically it. Any questions? That was a lot. Can I make it under 10 minutes?
That was good. That was great.
Huh?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Question. Okay, on loan number 2, the payment is $390 a month. You said that you're saving $200, $210 for the day they turn your system on. Are you paying on loan 2 concurrently with your electric bill until they turn your system on, or does that loan start?
Your system will be turned on before you make your first solar payment. When your solar gets turned on, you'll start generating electricity. Like, for instance, right now, we're coming into kind of the wrong time of year. On my house, well, I did this last year. My system got turned on November of last year. I had not built up credits all summer long, you know, to go into the winter, so I did. I had a monthly payment on my solar for a couple of months, and I was carrying part of an electric bill because my solar doesn't keep up in the wintertime. That's the idea of the one-to-one net metering that some utilities offer, is you build the credits up all year long so you get through the winter with without getting more than the $11 customer charge. So, but to answer your question, for the majority of customers, no, you're paying the solar payment and you've got the $11 Ameren bill.
So how does this work with Southwest Electric?
Southwest Electric does not do a one-to-one net metering like Ameren does. So what we do with the Southwest customer is we size them, you ask questions for one, yeah, are you retired, are you a stay-at-home mom with 4 kids, what's the picture? You know, typically we size Southwest or MJM customers, City of Highland, all these little co-ops and so forth, to about 70 to 80% of what their annual consumption was. With the co-ops, you basically don't want to send a lot of excess power back to them because they're not giving you full credit. They're giving you about a quarter of what you pay on the retail, okay? A Southwest customer, depending on customer's ability or desire to spend more money, that would be the place where a battery might be an option. I'm personally not a fan, all right? I still think they're way too expensive and don't last long enough, okay? But Elon Musk did such a great job, everybody thinks they have to have a battery. And it does have an application, but I just prefer to do 70 to 80% in the Southwest territory. Yes?
How fragile are the solar panels?
Great
Seems
question.
like a big hailstorm would take the whole system out.
Great question. So, by code, they have to take normal size hail at about 50 miles an hour. When they test a solar panel, they shoot golf ball chunks of ice out of a potato gun at close range. It's over 200 miles an hour, and they withstand it. You know, think about it, it's just ice, it smashes. Now, having said that, they are not indestructible, okay? On 55 corridor, I guess it's about 5 years ago now, we had a tornado that went up through there, and I had 2 systems within about a mile of each other on the frontage road. They got destroyed, okay? The panels, the people's cars, the roof, the siding, it was a total catastrophe for them. That's a homeowner's insurance claim, okay? And they're the only 2 I've ever known of personally that have gotten destroyed by hail. And they happen to be mine. So, but the homeowner's insurance covered it. It was back up and running in, I think, 3 or 4 weeks. I'll address the homeowners thing now too. Historically, insurance companies have covered solar panels as an attachment to the structure. Liberty Mutual started charging a premium. USAA always has. State Farm still does not. Okay. Personally, the jig is up, I think. Okay. As anybody can attest, insurance companies run on actuarial. They don't just insure stuff for nothing. Okay. So it's just a matter of time. I think we pay about $125 a year extra premium because of the ground mount. All right. The ground mount is its own structure, so that therefore is insured.
Okay, I don't like to put anything negative on Facebook. I hate negativity. I befriend people over it. But I want to blast on Facebook so bad about our Ameren bill. I thought, oh, that'll get you business, because I'm hearing it from everyone.
Yep.
Our bill last month was $850. I want to cry, okay? So I told my husband, why don't we do solar? His big thing is, and I want you to give me an answer to take back to him. He says, Laura, the technology isn't there yet. These panels, they're gonna get real small, they're gonna get more efficient. We're just gonna wait. Wait until they have to keep paying. I mean, that's 2 months in a row and pay over $800. Now we have a pool, I'm closing in early this year. I've never done that. So I think that's what's amping it up, I guess. But you 2 of us living there. How do people afford this? I mean, it's like a car payment. So that's what I say to him. He says, it's not the technology isn't there yet.
I'm going to be brutally honest. He's a naysayer.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
he's a total
and
naysayer.
it's tight, hard.
Solar technology isn't new. They've been making solar panels for 40, 50 years. They're up in space for crying out loud, okay? How much do you think, I mean, technology, when I first started in the business, we were at 320 watt panels. Right now, like my house, I have 550 watt panels. They're 9 feet tall. The idea is each solar cell is this little square, okay? You're only gonna be able to jerk as much out of that little square in small increments as you possibly can. I get a lot of people, husbands, wives, yeah, I'm just gonna wait for it to get better. I'm gonna wait for the incentives to get better. You know what? That's fine. Keep spending $7,000, $8,000 a year on your electric bill. I mean, I can lead the horse to water, but it can't make you drink. All right? And if you've already got it in your mind that either it looks stupid on the roof or the technology's not there, sometimes I can walk you past that, sometimes I can't. You know what I mean?
I like that you put it on your, because I don't want them on my roof, I have to be honest. honest, I would not ever, but we have a pole barn, so I didn't think about that, so they could be put on the.
Absolutely, absolutely, or stick them out somewhere, if you've got enough land, stick them out somewhere where you don't really see them. You know, fortunately, roofs is most of the places they go. I'll talk to you more about this. Yes, sir.
It's a typical lifespan of the system.
All right, the equipment's all warranted by manufacturers. My system there, my panels are guaranteed to still do better than 85% of what they did brand new at year 25. All right, so the panels are gonna be up there for 50, 60 years. At some point, they won't meet the needs of the home anymore, unless we get everybody else to move, the kids and the mother-in-law to move out, maybe they will. Make my Come on, Lord, you can do it. The 25-year production guarantee on the panel. The inverters, all right, depending on the inverter I use, I put a proposal for Scott. He's getting Enphase i2 8+ micro inverters. There's one underneath every panel. They operate independently. They are literally the Cadillac of micro inverters. 25-year part and labor warranty. A phenomenal device. Mine, I have with the old-fashioned string inverters, because the panels are so big, they don't make a micro inverter that'll push it. They're running the warranty on those are 12 years. All right, they cost about as much as a new refrigerator. So my refrigerator takes a crap at 15 years. This is a new refrigerator. That's the way I approach that.
So, in addition to our power bills being raised, our insurance bills are also going up. I have heard that solar panel helps protect your roof, and then that decreasing the amount of claims that you have will protect you from those rates going up and possibly being canceled from that system. Is that?
That is a fact in some cases. I'll give you an example. My last house in Bethalto, it depends on the jurisdiction you're working in. Some jurisdictions allow you to go from edge to edge on the roof, okay? Some jurisdictions, you need 36 inches pathways all the way around the solar in case a fire needs to get up there. But the fact is, yes, the solar panels do protect the shingles. They're no longer taking rain, sleet, wind, what do you call them, UV rays? Yeah, ultraviolet rays. So that will extend the life. There's a couple different ways people approach this. The first one is called a detached reset. Let's say you have solar on your home, now you need a new roof, okay? Historically, people pulled the panels off. Right now, they charge $150 per panel, so it could be $4 or $5 grand in addition to the roofing project. But what I've seen customers doing lately that have had their solar for a while, they're picking a matching color shingle and going around it, okay? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Okay, and I always wondered, and finally I started to see a couple examples of this. I mean, the shingles under there, they're not taking the abuse anymore, you know? So, but not everybody, I mean, you've got so many different areas on your roof. Obviously I can't protect it all unless you want solar all over his new roof.
All right, we have time for one more.
When you're doing your presentation and the homeowner is knowing that in 2, 3, maybe 5 years they're going to be a home seller, and they ask you that magic question, how much is this going to improve the resale of my home? What is your thought?
Great question, and this is something that all realtors should probably get on board with. What is it? Zillow and the MLS both state that it'll add about 4 to 5% of the home's value onto the value of the home. I think the easiest way to explain it is that you should be able to get in added value roughly 50% of what you paid for the system in added value to the home. When I proved it to several realtors when I sold my house last year. Pretty simply stated, the house was using $3,000 a year in power when I put the solar on 4 years ago. The system retail would have been about 60 grand. So I went to the house is Zillowing at 247, told the realtors, I'm in Cutter out to Bethalto, if anybody knows, old neighborhood, nice neighborhood, but old, and the home values just aren't that high. So I told the realtors I wanted 265. He said, you're full of shit, Chris. You're not even getting anybody to look at it at 265 in Cutter houses. So I checked with other realtors, and oddly enough, they told me the same thing. Went back to Johnny and I said, listen, you're still gonna ask 265. Here's the thing. You're gonna be in the home, no matter who shows the house, you're going to be there because now you're gonna sell my solar system. All right? Homeowner comes in, you show them the app, you show them all the cool features and stuff like that. At the end, you ask a very simple question. If you were to buy this house, would you stay there for 10 years? And the answer is typically gonna be yes. Well, now that with the increases, it's almost $5,500 per year, or $55,000 over the next 10 that the customer will never have to deal with. I asked for an additional 18 grand and a full price offer on the second day. All right, Johnny said he had realtors calling him saying, how the hell did you ever get 265 in Clever Houses? Says, I listened to my customer. That was it. Thank you very much for letting me speak today.